to the bridge, and still to come on this week's show, ex-Belly vocalist Tanya Donnelly is going to get pretty deep on us, and self-proclaimed maverick Finley Quay will round things off very nicely indeed, thank you very much. But right now, we'd like you to meet Ben Harper. The press mentioned names like Bob Marley and Gil Scott-Heron when they described this brilliant young man's songwriting skills, pointed lyrics, and sweet, sweet voice. His latest album is called Will to Live, and it's sprinkled with blues, soul, and some reggae rhythms, with even a little bit of folk thrown in for good measure. Here he is, sporting his slide guitar talents with a fab song from the album. This is called Homeless Child.
Nowhere here to call my own, no one near to call my own. All that's left is for me to run. Somebody please help me hang on. Homeless child, homeless child. Homeless child, homeless child. It's a hopeless child. What is left for the homeless child? There's no night and there is no day, but it is all one shade of gray. Some will pass and some will stay, but that is just the end or just one more day. Homeless child, homeless child. Homeless child, homeless child, the homeless child. What is left for the homeless child? Sure not much, but it's my mess. I just need some place to rest. If you could just let me be your guest, or I won't burden you for very long. Homeless child, I said homeless child. Homeless child, homeless child, I said homeless child. What is left for the homeless child?
Ben Harper, yes indeed, a force to be reckoned with. We like him. Now it's time to meet and greet and
And acclaimed Australian singer-songwriter Mac Sharam. There's also this week's albums reviews, including Taj Mahal, Tasman Archer and Gary Newman. But joining me now is a man who lets his music do the talking, a rare thing. 2 albums today, Welcome to the Cruel World and Fight for Your Right. And this choice quote, talking about music, you run the risk of sounding like a complete idiot. What more can you say about something that's already been stated in the best way you're able to say it? Before he plays, I'll take the risk of making a fool of myself, not for the first time. Ben Harper, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
What do you like writing about? What do you pick up on?
Everything, everything. I really love to write about, you know, inspiration comes from all different directions.
Yeah. And what about, I mean, it seems that in many ways that the way you create your songs, that they're made to be played live, the kind of, the feel of the songs really, you want people in front of you, you want to see people's eyes when you're singing these songs.
Yeah, I love to play live. It's great.
I mean, do you have that very much in mind when you're writing them, rather than, you know, thinking about how you're going to play them in the studio and construct them in the studio? Is it very much, you come at them as songs that that you see being performed?
Yeah, as a song develops and evolves, you really don't think about anything but the song. But sometimes you'll hear other parts that would naturally sound, or other sounds and instruments that you think would sound right in the recording process. And sometimes you think, yeah, you know, you get excited because you know this is going to be a slamming live song or whatever. But usually you don't. You write the song with the song in mind.
Have you started to be thinking more and more of your songs in a kind of band context?
Yeah, certain songs. There's certain band songs that work just as well solo. There are certain solo songs that work just as well as a band. And then some songs are meant to stay solo and some are meant to stay band. It's a combination of all that.
And do you like that kind of versatility within your material, that you can cut and change things? If you're performing live or on tour, for example, you can change the whole show each night if you wanted to.
Yeah, I do like to be able to do that, and we do change it up quite a bit.
Yeah, I've seen you a couple of times on the last tour, and it was very different both nights. Why was that? Why do you feel the need to change? Is that just for your own, to refresh yourself with your material?
Well, the songs sort of naturally take their course, you know, and ideas come up, and then and all of a sudden the song is that much stronger, hopefully, you know, and so I follow the music, you know what I mean? I don't purposely look to change any song at any time. The songs really take a form on their own.
With the new material, it seems that you've taken yourself in quite a few different directions. It's very difficult to actually pin down what you're all about, in fact.
Well, that's what goes back to what we were talking about earlier, in experimentation and willingness and an openness to experiment. And that experiment usually results, hopefully, in growth, you know. And that's really the key to production, is experimentation.
Now, you're going to play for us. You're going to do a rendition of Mr.
Excuse me, Mr. Yeah.
Yeah, Excuse Me, Mr. Now, can you tell us a little bit about that song?
I'll let it tell it. Excuse me, mister, do you have the time? Or are you so important that it stands still for you? Excuse me, mister, won't you lend me your ear? Or are you not only blind, but do you not hear? Excuse me, mister, but isn't that your oil in the sea? And the pollution in the air, mister, whose could that be? So excuse me, mister, but I'm a mister too. And you're giving mister a bad name, mister like you. So I'm taking the mister from out in front of your name, 'cause it's a mister like you, putting the rest of us to shame. Oh, it's a mister like you, puts the rest of us to shame. And I've seen enough, I have seen enough. I've seen enough to know that I have seen too much. Excuse me, mister, can't you see the children dying? You say that you can't help them, mister, you're not even trying. Excuse me, mister, won't you take a look around? Oh, mister, just look up and you will see what's coming down. Lord, excuse me, mister, but I'm a mister too. and you're giving Mr. a bad name. Mr. like you, so I'm taking the Mr. from out in front of your name. 'Cause it's a Mr. like you puts the rest of us to shame. Mr. like you puts the rest of us to shame. I haven't seen enough, but I've seen it, enough to know that I have seen too much. I've seen enough, I have seen enough to know that I have seen too much. So mister, when you're rattling on heaven's gate, let me tell you, mister, by then it is too late. 'Cause mister, when you get there, they don't ask, they won't ask what you saved. All they'll wanna know, mister, is what you gave. So excuse me, mister, but I'm a mister too, and you're giving mister a bad name. Mister like you, so I'm taking the mister from out in front of your name. 'Cause it's a mister like you puts the rest of us to shame. Oh, it's a mister like you that puts the rest of us, oh, the rest of us, oh, the rest of us, oh,
Ooh, the quite astounding looking Ben Harper. And of course there's his music. That track is on his second album, Fight for Your Mind, and Ben will be back with his guitar for another little sing-along just a little later. Richard will be taking on Gary Newman, Tasman Archer, the free